where we play that all wheels are turning. I turn this steering wheel, the wheels in the front turn right or left, just like you're on land. One difference is I engage the prop and our letters we're doing the steering right now. So now you know the rest of the story.
Alrighty, so I'm going to take it that for most of you guys, this is your first splashdown into the Ohio River, right? Pretty fun? Yeah, anybody get wet? No? A few? Okay, good job, Ken. Good job, Ken. This is a water tour, guys, so we do have to get you a little wet along the way. Maybe not too much, but a little bit. But anyway, this is your first splashdown into the Ohio River. Today's depth is about 26.5 feet, which of course means you're floating on that many feet of dark brown, murky Ohio River water. You're not far from it right now yourself, so go ahead and take a look. It's dark brown, nasty. You'd never drink that, would you? No, I promise you, you do. If you live here in Cincinnati or within 75 miles of this river in either direction, you're staying here at a hotel with family or friends, or you just took a drink from a water fountain on the levee, you are drinking the Ohio River, and I promise you, it's perfectly fine. There's just a bunch of dirt and sand in it that make it look bad, and you run it through a few filters, and bam, Aquafina. Now, other than having a horrible reputation, it doesn't deserve that reputation at all. Now, it also is a very healthy and diverse ecosystem for wildlife. There are over 150 species of freshwater fish that live in just the section of the river that we're going to be traveling on today. So a very healthy and diverse ecosystem, which we're pretty proud of. Now, if you're a fishing enthusiast, you can try all you want to fish here, but you probably won't be too successful. There's a lot of river traffic in the area, and fish will be kind of afraid of it, and they're going to be pretty far underneath the surface. So I guess you could try, but you won't be that successful. Now check out over there in Kentucky, you're going to see a big boat over there on the riverfront. That is the Bella Cincinnati, part of B&B River Boats. They're like a dinner cruise type company. They have a smaller boat behind there, the River Queen. You can see a good, like the back half of the River Queen now. But they're like a dinner cruise place. They'll feed you dinner and drinks and shows and whatnot as they're sending you up and down the river a few times while you're eating dinner. So I think they do lunch operations, but on a weekday there might not be enough people for it to happen. So I'm not exactly sure how they work. But definitely, do you think that boat can drive into the water just like we did? No? I promise you, I have the cooler job here, so I definitely appreciate you guys for coming out with us. So, but they do have a cool boat nonetheless. Now, check out this other body of water that you see over there in Kentucky. That is the Licking River. It's a nice tributary to the Ohio. And it forms the boundary between Covington, Kentucky over here, and then Newport, Kentucky over there where we picked you guys up. Now, the Licking River is one of, I believe, half a dozen in the United States that naturally flows north. Now, we call it the Licking River because of what's in there. You've got a lot of salt and mineral deposits in there. So when settlers came to this area, they observed all the local animals like buffalo, bison, and deer and whatnot licking all the salt off the banks of the river. Hence, the Licking River. Real creative naming there, right? Now, one of my favorite things to talk about on this tour is this nice old row of homes that you guys see over there on the riverfront in Covington. Because I am a history buff at heart. Now, all of those homes were built before the Civil War in nice southern mansions, as you see there, all on the riverfront on Riverside Drive, locally known as Millionaire's Mile because of the price tag. Now, the fourth home from the left. I know the trees are kind of blocking it a little bit, but I can see it from here, so I'm going to think that you guys can see that red sign in front of the house on that you see there. Now, that red sign is a real estate sign. It is the first home on Millionaire's Mile that's been for sale in the last 27 years. The asking price on that house is around $1.5 million. Wow. So definitely you're going to pay for it if you want to live there. But also, if you want to pay for that, you can have this here as your front yard. Now, if you don't want to live in a southern mansion, but you'd still like to live on Millionaire's Mile, you can do that by living in the Ascent Condominium Complex, which is that bizarre blue-shaped building there behind the suspension bridge. Now, I get a lot of questions as to what kind of shape it is, because I really don't know myself, so I think it kind of looks like a shark's fin if you look at it from the side. I've also heard it looks like a dripping candle. I had a young lady a few weeks ago tell me she thinks it's made of Legos, so yeah, I can see it, yeah. But that would definitely be the coolest Lego structure ever constructed. So unfortunately it's not the case though. They do have a lot of high-end luxury condos in there. The cheapest is on the ground floor, and you have yourself an amazing view of the trash compactor. And that's going to cost you about $650,000. And the penthouse, of course, is the most expensive, and that's for sale right now at about $5.5 million. So definitely going to pay for it there as well. Now, all of those old homes I was talking about in Covington, pretty unique, interesting thing in common with them. those. They got themselves a nice network of underground rooms and tunnels. Any guesses as to what these might have once been used for?
Underground Railroad.
The Underground Railroad. Now, Kentucky and all states south of here, as you guys might know, slave states. Ohio and Canada, all the states around here, free states, where slavery was not allowed. So if a slave family from anywhere in the South could make their way to those homes there in Covington, they'd be provided food, water, shelter, a safe place to stay until it's safe to cross the Ohio River in darkness. Now, my next question for you guys, how do you propose they did that? We have none of these fancy bridges that you guys see here today. No power boats of any kind. So how do you propose they crossed the Ohio River?
They walked.
They walked.
They swam.
First guess, never had that one before. Indeed, they did walk right across the water. Normally I hear some guesses like hot air balloons. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but it'd be really cool. One of my least favorite guesses, an underground tunnel. What happens when you build something underground beneath the river? It floods immediately. But definitely they did walk right across. Now how they did this was instead of walking on 26 feet of water, they were walking across about 4. Now, before the locks and dams were built on the river here to control its depth, in this part of the river, no more than 3 to 5 feet deep at any point, and only 40 feet wide. So because of that fact, it's very possible to walk right across the river. Now, keeping that in mind, this was one of the most popular underground railroad crossing points in like the western United States, all the places west of the Appalachians at the time of the, obviously during that era, there's not much west out of the Mississippi, but this was one of the most popular underground railroad crossing points for that reason. Now this pretty bridge that you guys see that we just sailed under, you got yourself a nice view of it right now. You'll get an even better view of it when we turn around here. And that is the John Roebling Suspension Bridge, named after its architect, John Roebling. Real creative naming there again as well. Locally we call this the humming or the singing bridge because of the noise your vehicle makes when you're driving across it. Now I didn't hear it when we were going under it, maybe we'll hear it when we're heading back up. But your vehicle makes a humming noise when you're driving across this bridge because you're not driving on concrete or blacktop. You're driving on a steel grate similar to a factory's footwalk. I could kind of compare it to the stairs of the duct that you guys climbed up with holes in it. Now, because of that, when you're driving across, you look through your windshield and look down, you can see the river straight through. And also, when we're looking back up, you can see the cars right above you as well. So a lot of locals won't drive on the bridge for that reason. It is kind of creepy to drive across.